I was thinking of something. I was thinking of the day, it was a Sunday, we went to church, Stark Lake Baptist Church. We, I picked this church for our family because on my dad's side, his parents were huge Baptists. And I'll never forget the first summer I went to spend with them. I go, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a lot of fun. I ain't got to do chores. I get to hang out with my grandma, make cookies and pies. Grandpa drove a school bus in Brea, California. They lived in Norwalk. We're having a lot of fun. What I didn't know is that they went to church 3 days a week. And I said, wait a minute, we're out of school for summer. Why are we going to church 3 days a week? But we went. Grandpa played the guitar, Grandma played the piano. And so, and then when Grandpa was home, I helped him do the yard work wearing his big ass boots and holding the water hose. But they were just great times, man. They were great connections with them as grandparents. And it was so much, it was different. So I took those life lessons and I put them in and instilled them into me as a papa. And there ain't nothing better. Because my kids are grown and gone. And they give you the goober look. Like, they'll shake their heads and go, you're old school. That's old sauce. You need to keep up or take note. So I am not going to do that. I'm going to be me. Because one day when they're looking at these videos and they see that, man, it's going to bring back a lot of memories, as it did when they watched all these videos that I put on a thumb drive. And they stood there and looked at them. From a little kid to a newborn, being born, to now in their oldest is 30s, youngest is 22. Love it. So I love creating the memories of that. And the more I did policing and the more I got involved with that, people have a misconception. Oh, this is what I was going to say. So I use Delta a lot because I travel with World Wrestling Entertainment on the security team. So gone a lot. And I stand there. I have status there, which is, my wife says, she calls me Hollywood. But really it's just status that I rightfully earned. I travel a lot. Between Marriott and Delta, I've earned status. And it means you get upgrades for rooms. They automatically upgrade you. As a diamond medallion, you get to go to the Delta Sky Club. So I don't have to spend money in restaurants at the airport. And I can go hook up and catch up on my expenses and do stuff, or have a beer, or eat some food. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. My first experience in Delta Sky Club, I'm fucking Hollywood. Excuse my language, but I'm going to own it. My wife says I'm Hollywood, I'm be Hollywood. I'm going to see what they got to eat. So I grabbed a little plate. It's kind of a slippery plate, but they got this like mac and cheese, creamy mac and cheese. Something I did not need to put in my arteries, but it was the closest thing I was going to eat. So I put it on my plate, and I work my way down. There's people behind me. I'm first. There's probably 70 people behind me. And this is in between flights, layover, and I see some things I want, but they're all the way in the back of this serving thing where they have all the food laid out. I reach over, and I reach back to get it, and I feel some pressure on my feet, my tennis shoes. I looked down, and the macaroni and cheese slid off the plate and landed all over my shoes. What did I do? I looked at the lady next to me, and I said, would you look at that? Would you look at that? And I didn't say a word, got my napkins that I have in my hand, and got the mac and cheese off my shoes, put it on my plate, got some more napkins and wiped down the floor, dumped it all in the garbage, and started all over again. And that was my first experience in Delta Sky Club. But the one thing that's really stands out for me, when they're boarding and they're going, anybody need extra assistance? And that is a trigger point for me, because I see people standing in line that Coming from somebody that has 4 bulging discs in his lower back and 4 herniated discs in his upper neck and has bone to bone for the last 15 years, and some days it's pretty painful, I could walk in there and need extra assistance. I qualify for a handicap placard, but I am not going to use it. And I'm going to keep my ass right where I'm at, and I'll board when my group comes. But these people that take advantage of that, and you know what, Delta can't, or American or whoever, can't ask them what their disability is. So they just got to take it. And it's annoying because there's people in our society that take advantage of that. Clearly take advantage of it. I guess it's the same ones that take advantage of using a handicap placard because their loved one has it and they're not in the car. That's a citation, by the way. But that really bothers me. And so let's go, the next one is any servicemen, active military, police board. What I would like to see happen, and I don't think I'll see it in my lifetime because there's a lot of politics behind it, but I would love to see any active or retired law enforcement that serve our country, serve the United States Police Board. Because let me tell you, folks, if you'll do this, go on the website, Officer Down Memorial page, ODMP, Oscar Delta Mike Papa, and look how many officers are laying down their lives in their communities on a daily basis. On a daily basis. I don't think we have that going on right now in military because we're not really at a war. But let's honor the officers that are serving your community. And let's forget about the 2% that embarrass us because we're in a position of power, whatever you want to call it, and they betrayed the badge. They don't frickin' matter. The other 98%, they get up every single day, and in some communities make very little, to go out here and be the peacekeeper, the counselor, the parent, the decision maker for others' lives, deciding the freedom of others, trying to get others back on the playing field just so they can work through their day and not take money out of their pockets. And when they do a whole career, and I'm not talking that they did 5 years and they tell everybody they retired. I call BS on that. If you did 5 years, 7 years, 8 years, and you were not medically retired, stop telling people that you retired in law enforcement because you didn't. And I'll call them on it in a hard way. I don't care who they are. A full retirement is generally 20, 25, 30, depending on your agency and the pension. If you've done that, I'd like to see our airlines. I'd like to see Delta go and announce any active or retired law enforcement as well as military. You're free to board. Let's acknowledge them. Let's acknowledge them. Again, Officer Down Memorial page. Look at their faces and read their stories. They went to work that day with every intention of coming home to their families, to their loved ones, to their planned activities, and now they're cremated 6 feet into the ground, laying in a casket, and that's where they'll stay. Or those ashes in that urn will stay with the family. The children will be left to wonder what happened to Daddy. And he probably could have shared some stories where he was blessed, but on that particular day, that man or woman that lost their life that served the communities that we all live in didn't come home. So I'm imploring Delta, because they are the best in the airline industry. I don't mind being a spokesman for them. I don't mind flying to their corporate office in Atlanta, Georgia, and sitting down with them and having a one-on-one and telling them why I think it's so important in these times that we acknowledge the men and women in law enforcement and first responders that go out here every single day and do what most people will not do. They'll run away from it. They'll lock their doors and hide from it. But the officers that laid their lives down went into it, and they never went home. I am as serious as a heart attack. I'm as serious you can get with that. It's something that crosses my mind every week when I catch a flight in and out of Orlando and back home and connecting flights. I would love Delta to step up and be the first and not worry about the ones that are you're allowing cops to get on planes first. Let them do it because they deserve it. They're protecting our cities, our states, our counties, and they're asking for nothing because I know they would lay their lives down for anybody. I know they would go there and do CPR on somebody that actually took shots at them and tried to kill them. But the officers were able to return fire and target them and shoot them justifiably in most cases, 98% of the cases. And they'll go over there and they'll do CPR on them. Come on, you got this. You can make it. Some don't, some do. But please, that's my preaching bandwagon. So, gotta love it.